Hey, what's up, guys? We're gonna be playing the brand new defender here, Lapras. For the emblem page, we got 6 green, 6 white. For the held items, we got Focus Band, Slick Spoon, and Shell Bell. Now, this is gonna be just the initial gameplay of Lapras, and my overall just opinions on how the Pokemon feels so far. So far, I think Lapras is a pretty balanced defender when it comes to everything. It doesn't do crazy amounts of damage. It does a lot of healing. It has a lot of sustain. And for the build that we're going to be running, specifically the move set that we're going to be running, is going to be Perish Song, Ice Beam. Now, Lapras has two pulsing abilities. It's got Perish Song, and it also has Water Pulse. Now, out of the two, I think Perish Song is the better one, personally, compared to just everything. Here we have Whirlpool. We start off with Whirlpool right here, and the way Whirlpool works is you wanna be hitting the enemies using the little edges of the Whirlpool. The closer that they are, the less DPS you're going to do, so less damage per second you're going to be doing. Whereas if they're farther away from you, you're going to be doing consistently better damage, and just, not more damage, not higher damage, but just more damage per second. So here on our lane, we got Pikachu, me, and Lapras. Pikachu, me, and Lapras. Me and Pikachu. Here we got the gas. We got the Ghastly. It's a pretty nice elimination for us here. And Slowbro here. And unfortunately, we're going to see that Zacian, even after nerfs, is still busted as heck and deserves the nerf hammer, because he just almost wipes me out and Pikachu. And it's crazy how much damage that Pokemon still does. I've had games where he just completely annihilates my HP bar, but luckily the Zacian didn't do that. But it's going to be really hard for us to take any of this from him, as we see him just taking all of it for himself. And unfortunately, Ghastly is stacking, so he's going to be doing that. And Zacian does what Zacian does best: eliminate and shred HP. And we just get knocked out there. Me and Pikachu unfortunately get knocked out because of Zacian. But anyways, going back to Lapras. So we got Whirlpool, and Ice Beam, or Ice Shard. I don't remember what his first few movesets are. But this move does freeze the enemies if you land it. And it's a pretty good move, actually. You can somewhat secure. It doesn't have the most amount of range. But we're going to be talking about its next moves that it'll eventually learn. Once you get to level 5, you have the options of choosing Perish Song or Water Pulse. Now, the interesting thing about Water Pulse is that Water Pulse does one pulse you can use it 3 times, and the more times you do it, the more pulses you'll get out of it. But the more you do, the less damage they do. So you're doing more frequently Water Pulses, but you're doing less damage with those Water Pulses. So for me personally, I'm just not the biggest fan of it. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not good, I don't know, but I'm just not the biggest fan of it. So I choose Perish Song, because the cool thing about Perish Song is that it has an instant knockout mechanic, just like Tyranitar with his ultimate move. Once you get them low enough, you're going to be doing a lot of more damage compared to as how they were before. And Perish Song Plus actually gives you a basic boosted attack, which you can use to heal and sustain here. So yeah, Urshifu also doing Urshifu things, being crazy powerful as well. Here I'm a bit too greedy. I was really hoping some of my teammates were going to be coming down, but they ended up not coming down, so that kind of sucks. So yeah, that's why I think Perish Song is a bit better. Now, you can definitely go with a stacking build if you want to stack for more damage with Perish Song. Is it worth it? I wouldn't think so, just because Lapras is a defender. It's going to be really hard for you sometimes to even get some of those stacks to sort of be effective, whereas that attack weight slot could have been used for something a lot better. Here we do choose Bubble Beam. So the cool thing about Bubble Beam is if you do land it on one person, obviously that one person will be trapped in a bubble for a couple seconds, but it also shoots out other mini bubbles. So here if our Zoro didn't just kill all of them. You see those little bubbles that were right there? Those bubbles can actually still catch the enemies off guard, and it does do pretty good amount of damage in my opinion. It's not the worst move. It is a pretty good move in my opinion. And here we finally get Lapras's Unite move, which pretty much just converts you into a taxi for the entire team. You can pretty much pick everyone up in and are into danger or out of danger. Here we see I stunned. It's a good stun mechanic too, so it's not a bad game, not a bad move. You see we stun Zacian again, making him not do Zacian things, which is pretty good for our team. Here, I get a little bit too greedy trying to get the Decidueye. I don't think I get knocked out. Here I use my Unite move. I don't really know why. I just wanted to use it. But there's that. So Gengar unites, and we're doing these things right here. I'm kind of just shooting it towards the team, because typical Gengar players will just do it. You see there, we got two of them right there. With one bubble beam. So that's the cool thing about Lapras's bubble beam attack. And you see that little line when Slowbro's HP was at, the little white line there? That white line signifies that, hey, once you hit it, it will be doing a lot more damage compared to how it was before. So our Zero is popping off, honestly. He was popping off this entire game, and really good gameplay from the Zoroark. But there's that. Like I was even curious right then and there. I was like, how much KOs does this guy have? Because he's just popping off. Here we're kind of just there. I'm just kind of being a defender, trying to do damage with my team, trying to get this objective, and unfortunately we do get it. And I could easily. I do use my Unite move. But it's a very kind of awkward Unite move to use. So you really have to play around with it before you use it. You should really try to get a good understanding of it. But yeah, because it's just a weird Unite move. You go fast, and if you bump into things, you'll start to go slower. And then you can use the button again, and you'll do like a little surf onto the enemies, or like a wave crash sort of animation appears. It's kind of interesting, if you use it right. The best ways that I've seen to use Lapras's Unite move is, let's just say your team doesn't secure Rayquaza right. Well, you're a taxi, so you can easily take them. See, that was a good Perish Song. I knocked him out using just Perish Song. But anyways, as I was saying earlier, if your team isn't able to get Rayquaza, you guys flip it, and the enemy team fortunately gets it. Then you guys can use your Unite move, your Taxi move, which speeds you up and can carry all of the team, and you can carry them towards the enemy's objectives while they're scoring. You guys can counter score to make it not so a close game, maybe, you guys. So that's how you kind of want to use Lapras's Unite move. It's not the greatest. It does have a really short cooldown, so items that have cooldown reduction can do really good. Here we see I missed my bubble beam, but one of the little bubbles that were there did manage to get Urshifu caught in one of those bubbles. Here I'm gonna try to help out our Espeon by just being there, doing some extra damage on them. Yeah, I tried to get Espeon, but it didn't let me. But that's okay. Here's a very, very close match. We're kind of just fighting to fight. I'm gonna try to go for Decidueye, because Decidueye does lots of damage, and he can secure Rayquaza, which is what we don't want because our team isn't there. So here, we're using those basic attacks that heal us, and we're just kind of just being a very sustainable tank, which is what Lapras does best in. He can, with your Perish Song basic attack plus, you can do that. Here I catch Gengar, letting me and our Sableye do damage to him. we knock him out. I do what's it called, real damage, or like the white damage is like which is what Tyranitar does with his unite. Here Urshifu even unites me and I just tank it like it's nothing. But unfortunately I think I do get caught here because I get a little bit too greedy trying to get the Urshifu. I still do get him, but we are pretty low and our team isn't up. I have to recall to try to recover some HP because it would just be a very one-sided fight if I just go in there trying to get it. So yeah, here I'm kind of just there trying to have them stop fighting Rayquaza and start fighting me. I have my Unite up, and we don't get it. I think none of us get it, but we end up still just winning from this match. It was a pretty close match. It was a non-Rayquaza match, so we were all fighting for it, but no side ended up getting it. So we ended up not using Rayquaza for that fight, and we just win barely by 422 to 390. Here we're going to check out the damage. 72,000, which is not the worst amount of damage. We do a lot of healing. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video of Lapras, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.